Tarisland. It's been a little bit over a year since the launch of this WoW killer, which was supposed to be the next big MMORPG from China and Tencent, which we're gonna have amazing raids and classes and all that good stuff, and a promise of no pay to win. And I was really excited for this game until they decided to go back on their word and say, when we said there's going to be no pay to win, we didn't understand what you guys refer to as no pay to win. So the game ended up with this promise and they lied to their customer base. And then I had a bunch of issues because I called this stuff out and I had some drama. I mean, you guys can watch it in my old videos, but it was a good start for the game, but I was still excited and wanted to check it out. Now it's been over a year since the launch. I think the year anniversary was during summer. So I want to talk about where Tarisland is now. Did it survive? Is it doing good? Did it kill WoW? Let's find out. So I was really excited for this game because when I saw the trailer of Tarisland, the gameplay trailer and the gameplay of it, I actually reached out to the people that developed Tarisland and messaged them and talked to them about doing a global launch, and they were excited to do a global launch, and I gave them and helped them a little bit with feedback and stuff. And then at the end of the day, they ended up creating narratives about me, all that stuff. I got like banned from their Discord, all that stuff, but I still wanted to play the game because it looked good. I made a community around it. I wanted to do raids because it was gonna have really cool, exciting raids.
Oh, it's a good one.
Okay, cross to the middle, cross back, cross to the corner, to the middle. And the game was cross-play, but it was a PC first and then mobile after. So it's going to be well played on PC, which it was. The raids were extremely challenging. When we were going for the world first titles, it was really cool. A lot of people played it at launch. Like we had even Team Liquid playing it. And
Please. Please kill it. Please kill it. Come on.
Oh my god.
Please kill it. Oh my Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? Dude.
This boss is fucking insane. Please, come on. Let's fucking go. Come on. John. Let's go, please.
Yes.
Did we get it? Yes. Let's go. Oh my god. That was so hard.
Echo, they had good marketing campaigns. They had like money giveaways and stuff. It was really fun at the start. And they had some insane promises of like, making a non-gender, all the classes will be no gender lock, all that good stuff. We're gonna get an insane amount of content. So a lot of promises. And then when you started playing a little bit more, you started doing raids, which was good, but everything else when it came to the game except the raids was really bad. And what they also did is they time gated a lot of stuff at the start. So when we actually played the betas of Tarisland, they were really fun because they cramped everything into 2 weeks and you actually got to play everything. You felt like there was always something to do. And then they were like, yo, we don't have enough content after 2 weeks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna time gate everything. We're gonna unlock raids every 1 week, and that way people are not gonna have anything to do, but at least we'll have content that will be releasing every week or 2 weeks until we don't have any content anymore. So the biggest issue with Tarisland is, except from the raids and the fake promises and stuff about no pay to win, there was no content in the game, and it's going to be based on a seasonal system like expansion systems, which most games have, but it will be basically a new expansion with a new map, with a new level cap, new gear system, raids and stuff. And that's how it's going to be going forward with the game, and that's how they're going to make people come back to the game, which I thought at first was a really good idea. But the problem with Tarisland was when it first launched and it first released, or it was ready to release, the game, when it was in development, didn't have a big budget, but then Tencent gave it a massive budget. Can you guys guess why they got so much budget? It was because of not Tarisland, World of Warcraft getting cancelled in China. Yes, because World of Warcraft got cancelled in China, all of these WoW players in China had nothing to play anymore. There was, of course, other MMOs, but nothing like World of Warcraft. And then they were like, we have this Tarisland game, which is very similar to World of Warcraft. Maybe we can get all of these players. And the reason that World of Warcraft got canceled is because their publishers and stuff like that with NetEase, they had a dispute. And it seemed like World of Warcraft was never coming back to China. So they thought this is a great opportunity for us to take all those players and make a bunch of money on Tarisland. That was their idea behind it, with all these raids and the similarities to it. So they invested a bunch of money into the game. However, this game needed many years, probably 1 or 2 years still, before getting a proper development, a lot of content, all that stuff. It needed still more years. However, this was the perfect window to get all of these World of Warcraft players. So they were like, let's just rush development, put a lot of money into it, a lot into marketing and stuff, but we don't have content. We have, not enough development, but we still got to rush it out because of the cancellation of World of Warcraft, right? So they did this. They did all this marketing campaigns. The game looked good. We were all ready to play. And then what happened was World of Warcraft came back to China. So now they invested an insane amount of money on a game that is not finished developing, does not have enough content, and then at the same time you get World of Warcraft that comes back when you guys launch Tarisland. So all that money, all the investments ended up being for nothing because people still went back to play World of Warcraft. So what did they do with Tarisland? Like, now World of Warcraft is back. They invested all that money. They need to recoup some of this, right? And that was through ending up doing pay-to-win monetization. You could gacha for skins, which was a good idea that I suggested before the launch of the game, but they also had that you could buy the in-game currency, so you pay to win the currency, and then you can use this currency to pay to win stuff in the auction house. So you can pay to win gear, stats, all that small stuff to make your character stronger, while some things were still time gated and gate locked. So they wanted to make a lot of money back, so they ended up doing this and all this monetization and reskin mounts, reskin things. And it was just really bad just looking at the monetization when you went in with the idea of that there was going to be no pay to win in the game, but they had to recoup these losses, and the game was losing players over time. And then after the last raid difficulty was done and it was finished and they had no more content to give us, the game didn't get any content for almost 2 months. It was just reskin raids with harder and harder challenge modes is what they called it, but it was nothing new. So people that were playing it ended up losing interest because in the game there was nothing else to do except raiding. There was nothing else to do except like you're doing these dungeons or raids, because the game had no content. In an MMORPG you should be able to do other stuff too, like you should be able to do some PvP. It had limited PvP options with like really bad or unbalanced arena and battlegrounds. There was no proper life skilling. Everybody did the same thing when it comes to life skilling, and it was a stamina system, so there was nothing to do. There was no proper exploration. There was basically nothing except from raiding. So people ended up quitting, and then they were hoping to get people come back to the game with a new season launch. So launch a new season, and we thought, okay, now we're gonna get the real game, because they promised that the next expansion or season is gonna be insane, better than we ever seen. So they launched this new season, and the map is underwhelming. It's smaller than the previous map, way smaller than the previous map. It's only one map, while previously we had 3 maps. Less dungeons, less gear, less content, but the game, again, they have raids, but they made the raids extremely easy for some reason, so everybody could just do it. And then they added a challenge mode, which was a little bit harder, but the raids overall were undertuned, like insanely undertuned, and like there was no challenge for it. So the game was just really bad. The new launch of the game, the map expansion was really bad. And then they were introducing a Steam client, guys, to the game, and guess what happened to the Steam client? They were not able to launch the Steam client. It had issues on the launch of the new season, so nobody even played on the Steam client. I think the Steam client has like 3 players actively playing right now. It was just horrible, and they started to lose players. There was no content in the game, and they just slowly decided that, yeah, this is a project that we're probably going to just abandon because it didn't work as they planned. World of Warcraft came back, they didn't have enough development, so they're like, how can we milk more money? And that is when they introduced legendary weapons. Yes, legendary weapons is something that you have to basically buy, and it costs thousands of dollars to get the legendary weapons and then to upgrade it. And then you have to get legendary gear eventually that they're going to introduce. And then the only way to get the item required for this is by doing a raid. And then when you drop the item inside the raid, it will go to a world auction that you had to buy. So you couldn't drop it yourself. There's only way to get it is through buying it. So you have to auction against other players to buy 10 of these, and then you will get the legendary weapons. And then you have to buy even more, like 20 or 30 of these to upgrade your legendaries. So it was like thousands of dollars. So all the whales, of course, got it. So they started milking money. The pay to win just went crazy. No content, just reskin stuff. And then they were like, now we're going to release new content. And can you guys guess what the new content was? It was the old raids from the first season. Yes. So the content and development has completely stopped when it comes to the game. It was supposed to have seasonal based system, but it doesn't sound like there's any new season coming out. And if it is, it's just reskin. I think they barely have any developers. They're just reintroducing stuff they probably developed to just get players to buy and stuff. If you look at the Discord is absolutely going crazy. There's a bunch of bots in there. I did talk about the Discord and the mods and stuff, because we got banned. Like I got banned in there for talking about the pay to win, all that stuff. We had like a whole interview with the mod. If you guys want to check it out, it was like insane amount of drama. But now there's like people posting corn sites in there. It's people, bots, scammers, everything is in the website. It's not moderated at all. That's how bad it's gotten. Nobody's even playing the game. There's no promotion, there's no information, there's no update notes. If there is, it's just about, hey, buy this new skin, buy this new item. No content is coming to the game. A bunch of lies, not only lies about the monetization systems, but also about, they were like, we're gonna introduce new class, we're gonna introduce all these classes, and they're all gonna be getting genders every single update. So what they did is they promised that each and every class will have both male and female genders, and everybody will get it eventually, because people complained about this. But they just lied about this. So what they did is they gave us 2 classes that have male and female. They're like, every class is gonna get it. Since the release of the game, no other genders were introduced to the game at all. They made promises that the new season is going to be massive, much bigger than the first season. The first season was just going to be an introduction to the game, and then they're going to release like the big map expansions and the raids and the content. And the new expansion was nothing similar to it at all. They promised that you will not be able to buy a currency to buy gear in the trading house or auctions, whatever. And they lied again. So the biggest problem I had with Tarisland is all the shady stuff they did, all the lies that they built the game on. Of course, if you just lie about the game and make people hyped, people are eventually going to find out that you're lying. Like, I don't know what they expected. Like, why not just say this game has this game has that? Because there's many games that are released today that admit that, hey, we have pay to win features, we have this, and people are like, okay, at least, you know, we can play, we know it's going to be pay to win. But lying, that's where like the problem becomes. And then it's like all the drama with me when I try to help them out with the game, and then they just, you know, the professional admins of the game or developers, you know, made false narratives about me, banned me from Discord, all that stuff. So at the end of the day, you know, I don't want any game to have like a bad downfall. I had a bunch of fun playing Tarisland. You know, we went for world first kills, played with my community, had a fun, but I spent $0 on it because of the lies and how they treated me and my community. So at the end of the day, I don't want to see a game fail, but at the same time, when you lie to customers and all this stuff, it's going to be really bad. And the whole thing just went downhill. So till this day today, will Tarisland, you know, ever come back? No. Tarisland is completely dead. There's no developers, there's no investments, there's nothing from Tencent. They're just completely given up on the project themselves. It will never come back, even if you think it will. Probably never. Even if I think the only way is if suddenly World of Warcraft gets demolished and they're like, yeah, let's make Tarisland classic. Tarisland 2.0. There, I think this game had insane potential. I do. I think if the game was in development for a couple more years, had some proper content, more good raids, you know, expansions, explorations, all the stuff, used time on it, I think this game could have been good and had a good team managing the game. You know, like giving updates, communicating. I think it could be a really good game. But right now, is GG. So overall, we've seen many MMOs come and go. I mean, Tarisland is just one of many, and it did have potential for crossplay, at least for PC and mobile. But at the end of the day, they just couldn't do it. They just built on lies and fake promises and minimal content, and you know, trying to take market cap from World of Warcraft players in China, and that just ended up massively failing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Probably my last Tarisland video ever. Unless you know, they release some more juicy stuff. I highly doubt it. It's probably just gonna be like drama related and stuff. I think even a community manager went out and just complained about like the developers and everything and how they treated them. So just a massive fiasco and disaster. Let me know what you guys think. You know, did you guys play Tarisland? Did you have fun? When did you quit? What do you think about the pay to win stuff? Let me know. Check out the series right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.